was the whole issue with Jordan Neely. Jordan Neely was a performer on the New York subway. I do not know his status and whether or not he was housed or not housed, but he was actually on a subway train, acting erratically, and everyone's agreed that he's acted erratically. And a former Marine who's a current college student has gone ahead and tried to subdue him with a chokehold. Now, I really think, and it's weird because I'm of one mind, but I also understand some of the people who are not going to call it murder. I personally feel it was murder. First of all, it was ruled a homicide. Um, and I've read, and I don't know if I can confirm this, but have you also read that um, he evidently had him in a chokehold for 15 minutes? Um, that's he no longer subdued him. That's you're killing somebody. I don't see how in any world that you could ever claim that there's anything nothing wrong with that. So, what was your take on the whole Jordan Neely issue?
Yeah. To bounce off what you just said, he's also a Marine and he's trained. Like, it wasn't a citizen who doesn't know what the windpipe is, who doesn't know what he's doing. Maybe he saw wrestling growing up and put him in a chokehold and just hope for the best. This is a trained Marine who knows what he's doing. I'm not saying he's a serial killer. I'm just saying they are taught how to do these things. And so I have full belief that he knew what he was doing. Now, he might have not intended to do it, but I think he knew what he was doing. Also believe it's murder. I also believe that if this was, not to make it racial, but it is racial, I also believe that this was a black man who subdued a white guy, that they would want him to be arrested, right? So here's what I will say, John. I took the train all the time in Chicago. I took it for 6 years, almost every day, commuting back and forth. The train is a place where things happen, right? It's 2 a.m. It's the red line. 50% of the people are acting erratic, right? So you've been there, right? You get on the train and you're just looking at people, right? Making sure everything seems on the up and up. There's been times where I'm on the train and I'm like, all right, if this dude does something, I'm going to have to step up and punch him in the mouth or whatever, right? Nothing ever happened. But my point is that who's to say what's erratic? Did Jordan Neely take the train every single day? Because I had a lot of people on my timeline say that's not erratic for what a subway is in New York or Chicago or anywhere else. So what does he think is erratic? Now, I know there's other witnesses that said he was acting erratic. I guess I would worry that what they believe is erratic might be a little bit different. So that's first for me. Second is, this was a profound moment for me, John. When George Floyd happened, I think a lot of people said, how can you sit there and just let the cop choke him out and not do anything? And here's the opportunity here, right? This isn't a cop. This isn't someone who's overly big and you have no chance. I am shocked. I'm actually shocked that people didn't step in and be like, yo, chill. He's already on the ground. Just relax. If the whole train thought he was acting erratic, why didn't the whole train just hold his arms down and wait for the next stop or whatever it was? You had a lot of people who sat there and watched and did nothing. Now, I'm not expecting everybody to be a brave superhero, right? Not everybody, everyone's freeze flight response is a little bit different, right? So I'm not blaming anybody for not doing anything. What I'm trying to say is, if he was truly erratic, you could have had 4 or 5 people hold him down without one guy doing everything, right? So I just have a feeling that I don't know. I don't know. I also think it's a little bullshit that nobody just stepped in and said, yo, chill, get off of him. This is New York. It's not Montana. It's not Florida. This is New York, where there's people on there that are not going to hold their tongue, right? And I'm just a little shocked that nobody said to get off him.
No, I'm in absolute agreement there. I'm in absolute agreement, and I think the thing that is I, there's a discussion that's happening that have you ever heard the phrase two things can be true at the same time? And I think one of the things that's frustrated me, and this is going to sound weird because as someone who understands the importance of mental health, and I do think that anytime we can call attention to a mental health crisis, we should. And a lot of people have gone ahead and addressed Jordan Neely's mental health. but I think that that's such a we should never pass up that opportunity. But that's such a misguided thing is because a lot of people have references mental health. There are no circumstances under which you apply a chokehold to someone. You know, unless he was actually in the process of killing somebody or harming somebody, there is no justification for it. And I think that whether when we're talking about guns and mental health or guns and mass shooting versus I even get upset when we talk about the type of weapon. I just think there's too many guns. Anytime you can talk about something that is not the real offense, then we're hurting ourselves. And the real offense here is that this guy thought that he was taking matters in his own hands and acted as a vigilante. I'm not sure if you saw that viral video out of somewhere in California where two young black women are running, look like they're running a store, leaving a store with some bags, and this white dude who assumes that they're shoplifting or boosting has gone ahead and he engages them in a fight, and everybody's like, woohoo! And it turns out that store, it was a discount store. It's either Marshalls or Ross Dress for Less or TJ Maxx, one of them. Um, Turns out they are not pressing charges because, under their understanding, those women had paid for everything. Well, that and the Jordan Neely thing are completely related because both of them are the examples of white men taking matters in their own hand. And in many cases, both of these are a direct result of these videos that we see that we know we need transparency, but where you always see black people or people of color wilding out in the store and whatever. And it's that Fox newsification. It's that your streets are dangerous. Again, we can never ever downplay uh, crime. We can never ever, downplay, or should we never ever downplay any of this stuff. However, I do think that whether it's Jordan Neely in New York or that gentleman, well, now we'll call him gentleman, that animal in California who confronted the women leaving the store, those are both, to me, direct results of our media and especially folks on the right putting everybody on edge all the time.